Good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. I assume that's what, yeah. I'm John.
I'm Pam.
Pam. Well, we're going to have, this is our regular Saturday late afternoon, early evening happy hour program. And I'm afraid, well, today we're going to talk about something that is a little bit depressing. It could be a little bit depressing to you. But I think it's just something we should get out of the way and talk about, and because it's kind of happening. And I'll just tell you the name of the talk today, and it's the Doomsday Clock. Now, Pammy hadn't ever heard of this before.
No, I had.
Oh, you
of
had?
Course, heard of it.
Oh, okay. She had heard of it before. I've heard it on and off for most of my life. I tell you what kind of people I hang around with.
We have to have our toast.
Oh, yeah.
He forgot the part where he was going to say that you'd probably get depressed, but we would show you ways to be not so depressed.
Yeah.
And it would.
Starting with a martini.
You got it.
All right. I feel
Cheers,
better already.
And I just want to say before he begins,
it isn't that funny. It's not a funny story. Oh, that's dangerous. Okay. Shall I talk? Okay, I'm going to talk while she recovers here. We're going to talk about the Doomsday Clock. And if you've never heard of that, I'm going to read a little definition of it here. The Doomsday Clock is a symbolic clock created by the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists to warn the public about the threat of global destruction from human-made technologies such as nuclear weapons, climate change, and other catastrophic risks. Now located in the lobby of the Keller Center at the University of Chicago, the Doomsday Clock hands are moving closer to midnight, which indicates greater danger, and further away from midnight would indicate positive steps have been taken toward global safety. It's really, the clock is a metaphor and a symbol that illustrates how close humanity is to self-destruction. I gotta have another sip here.
Can I say something?
Oh, you bet, yeah.
Well, I was reading up so that I could have this conversation with John. And the organization of scientists is called the Bulletin. And one of their subcommittees actually manages the clock. And it started in 1947, after the Second World War, because there were a group of scientists that were concerned about the implications, long-term implications of a weapon like the atomic bomb. And I just find that really interesting. And can I say how it was when they started?
Oh, yeah.
Well, they first set the clock, and they do a big deal where they announce to everyone in the world that they're setting the clock, and it'll either go back, like John said, and meaning that we're farther away from destroying humanity and the earth, or it'll be closer to midnight, which means that the time is getting shorter before something happens. And I think it's really important to note that the scientists that still do this all these years later are committed to their cause. And the cause is simply to make sure that the public is aware of the things that present incredible risks to the planet and to our lives, and that may inspire them to do something about it.
Well, and us, I think the scientists are afraid that we're going to do ourselves in. We keep moving in the wrong direction. For a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of
and I
different.
forgot to say that it was when they started it in 1947. They set the clock. They said we're 7 minutes to midnight. Now
Yeah,
that sounds pretty close, doesn't it? But he'll tell you how many minutes they set it to this year.
yeah. It's a new record closeness to midnight this year, January 2025. This group of eminent scientists got together and decided that it's 89, 89 seconds to midnight right now, taking everything into consideration about our potential for self-destruction as a society. I guess you could say. So that's where we're working at, and they're trying to put different things in place to stop the march toward catastrophe. Um, so the clock is really it's really a metaphor and a symbol to illustrate how close humanity is to self-destruction. And it's like we said, it's set annually. It's changed annually, either closer to midnight or further away from midnight. And so let's see. Do we have anything else to add?
Well, I wanted to add that this organization that does this, they one of their underlying beliefs and the motivations for doing the clock, the symbolic gesture of the clock, is that the things that, from their perspective, scientific perspective, factual perspective, that affect the risk we are of annihilation, are all human caused. And that if humans can cause these risks, then humans can address them and roll them back, reduce the risk. And, I think that's a really powerful thing to think about and to remember, that that's the motivation. They also say that they try to make what the message as simple and clear as possible. They try to identify and share solutions to those risks, ways to mediate them, and that they don't pass judgment. They don't deal in political conversations around the issue. They're presenting facts, they're presenting possible solutions, and it's up to the collective we of the world to do something about it or not.
That's excellent.
Thank you.
That's great. I think you summed it up better than they did. Actually, yeah, it is.
No, I didn't.
And I don't know. Maybe it's good to talk about this Doomsday Clock. I don't think a lot of people know about it, and it's certainly I've never seen any kind of documentary on it on any of the public TV channels or.
Well, they always announce it, and it's on major news broadcasts.
Yeah, they do announce it once, a few minutes once a year. They might, but I've never seen a real program on it talking about what we can do. To possibly.
Right. I would say too that I don't see, if they're working on solutions and sharing them. I think the news only covers when they move the dial on the clock. But John, I wanted to ask you, are there people that really believe that the Earth isn't destined to, or our civilization even isn't destined to fall apart? I mean, if you look at the history of the world, which I have done very little of looking at, whether it's been the dinosaurs, the ancient Puebloans, the ice glaciers moving. I mean, there's always been something that wiped out everything, but certain insects, apparently. how can so what's the point of caring about this if it's going to happen anyway?
Well, a lot of those things that have happened during our past, what's the Earth, 4 billion years old?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think that might
That's
be
so much.
figure. It's really old, and you know, most forms of life on the Earth have eventually become extinct for one reason or another. Either they're not able to adapt to changes that are occurring, or in some cases they're killing off each other. And so I guess the difference is now is that we have the means um, with really bringing things to an end, because the forces that we do have under our control are just so powerful that they could wipe out humanity, I guess.
I know they talk about, the Bulletin people talk about disruptive technologies. I'm not exactly sure what that means. Maybe, and maybe you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, they're talking about things. I mean, artificial intelligence has so much to offer. I'm using my little Gemini guy on my Android phone all the time. But I guess they're saying technology should become so advanced that it would replace human life?
Well, I mean that's another fear that they could probably add to climate change and nuclear technology and that sort of thing is artificial intelligence, and that if it can get out of hand and think for itself and think better than we do, even the best of us, you hope that they don't end up with ulterior motives and work toward wiping humans out too. But I don't think that's going to happen. But I guess it's something to be aware of.
Well, and there are ways that there are things that threaten life on Earth that aren't man-made, and I guess the only one I actually can think of is an asteroid, a large asteroid hitting Earth. Yeah. And obliterating most of it, if not all of it.
And we are trying to develop technology that could intercept asteroids. In fact, I think we did a sample hit on an asteroid within the last couple of years to throw it off course, so that we can tell if an asteroid is heading toward Earth and have a chance to knock it off course so it doesn't hit Earth. So that's great, a great use of technology, and it's hard to not be excited about that technology, you know. That's the other side of the coin, I guess, that could save humanity. So I guess I think one thing we just should be more aware, all of us should be more aware of the different forces that are in play right now, and how some of them could, they can aid humanity, and then some of them can just doom humanity. And I love science, and I try to, I'm not a scientist, but I try to learn as much about existing science and new science as possible. And so I think there's some hope with science. But
so you don't think that? See, I wonder is if we're doomed. I think we're doomed anyway. I mean, I don't think Earth or our human civilization, Western or Eastern or all of it, is doomed to. It will not exist at some point.
Well, yeah, but the question is that going to be hundreds of years, thousands of years?
Oh, yeah.
Or is it going to be millions of years? Like the Earth will, the sun will burn out, die. And I don't know if it's billions of years or multiple millions of years. And then there will no longer be life on Earth once the sun shrinks up or explodes or whatever. It's going to do, but that's a long way off, and that's not being caused by anything that we're currently doing. So
let me ask you this about the billions of years.
Yeah.
when you think of billions of years, all the billions of years before us and the billions of years after us, and the speck of sand or less that we represent in those multi-billions of years, isn't that like, does that make you more or less afraid of dying?
Well, I think it personally makes me less afraid. Really, I realize what, in the scheme of things, how really, in a lot of ways, how insignificant I am. I try my best to be significant. But,
Oh, you're significant.
But the Earth is. I think the solar system. We talked a little bit about the solar system. I think the solar system is I can never remember if it's 4 billion or 14 billion.
It's a whole bunch of billions.
Years old. But that's a lot. And, different.
By the solar system, do you mean the Milky Way or
No, that's
just our system of planets around the sun?
That's not part of our planet. Weren't you listening the other week when we talked about the solar system?
No, we didn't talk about the solar system.
Oh, we did too.
No.
Well, the solar system is.
Oh, yeah, we did. But we didn't. Did we talk about it?
Well, we just talked about the solar system is composed of the sun.
Yeah, I know what's composed. Yeah, you're right.
7, 8, or 9 planets, depending on who you talk to.
So when the sun dies out, the Milky Way will continue. Only no one will call it the Milky Way.
Well, the Milky Way is just that's a galaxy. That's a collection of I don't know, millions of solar systems. Yeah. I want to learn more about the Milky Way, but that's a galaxy, so it can probably lose a few solar systems and still exist.
Yeah.
Would be my guess.
So the little speck of sand we are.
The little speck of sand we are.
Or less than a speck of sand. Will be distributed throughout the galaxy.
Yeah, but that's, we're talking about billions of years from now. Whereas with the thing we're talking about tonight is a lot closer, and it's a man-made catastrophe.
You don't want it. Well, yeah.
It's a woman-made catastrophe.
It's
human, okay.
Kind made.
Man and woman.
Yeah, and gender neutral.
Foxes and wolves.
Yeah. No.
Okay, I don't know.
It's humankind.
Yeah, I hope this doesn't come across as too stupid.
I don't think it's stupid at all.
But I think the main message is that I think we should just be more aware of what's going on in what kind of instruments of destruction we're working on around the planet here, and that maybe we should, some of us at least, should try and put it in perspective and help people see that maybe there's a better way to control some of these lethal weapons and behaviors. So maybe some
would that it were true, yeah.
Groups or something. But I guess I don't have too much to say. Everyone depressed now, or has everyone left and went out and
probably that
run a few miles or made a few drinks? I don't know. Whatever.
It does sort of go back to our conversation of last happy hour. Sort of the meaning of existence, our place in it, how little or how much we can do to affect the trajectory of our lives and other people's lives and the earth.
Yeah.
It's pretty big.
Yeah. Well, I think you could try to be a little bit better person. And
I know. I try every day.
That might catch on and save the
thanks
world.
A lot. Maybe we're just saving the world, right?
Yeah, you bet. You betcha.
Yeah, you betcha. That's from
Minnesota land, isn't it?
Here's to another day on an Earth before annihilation.
Yeah. Why not drink to that?
As the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists say, The only thing they're against is human extinction. So I think we can all raise our glasses
Yeah.
to that. Here's to humans not being
What's the opposite of extinction? Flourishing.
Flourishing.
Yeah, we want to flourish,
Yeah.
not become extinct.
Yes.
And so I think we, maybe need to figure out some ways to do that. Start a new group or something, or a government agency on
Or if it's
flourishing.
all going to blow up anyway, run down the street naked.
Well,
This was a conversation we had last night, remember?
about running down the street naked?
Yes.
I think it was your idea.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.